Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Eminence Cosplays, and today we are going to be doing Rengoku's Katana. So let's get started. The materials I used were cardboard, cardstock, tape, scissors, box cutters, paint, hot glue, and pencil. If you don't have those, feel free to substitute. Here for this one, you're just going to get 3 pieces of cardstock and then fold them long ways. On the inside of the sword, we're going to take the duct tape and tape the 2 pieces together. And then we're just going to repeat for the next part. At the top of the paper, we're going to make an arc to make it the top of the katana. Then we're just going to quickly cut it out. Now here we're going to want to make sure that the rounded edge is facing towards us when we write the kanji at the bottom. I used a finger just to give me enough spacing off the bottom. And I'm just going to set an image up here and speed through it really quickly. Now that we have our kanji done, I'm just draw a 3 centimeter away from the edge line all the way up, which will help us differentiate where the colors need to be. Now we're just going to go in with random lines to give us that flame that Rengoku has on the blade. And then we just flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Now for the handle, we're going to fold up halfway, and then we're going to fold up halfway again. Then what we're going to do is fold about half between the line that we just made and the edge, so that way our handle is smaller now and more like a handle for a katana. I popped up a reference picture here. I'm using this to kind of replicate what his katana handle looked like. Now we're just going to build the supports, which I took cardstock and a piece of tape, and we're just going to use, I would recommend using a regular pencil and just helping roll the supports. I made 7 here, but I would recommend making about 9 just in case, however you want your handle to be and how stable you want the katana to be. So what you're going to need for cardboard is 2 big rectangles for the sword handle. Then I make about 3 more smaller and longer rectangles. And then we're going to make about 3 squares as well. Then we just cut it out and we have our pieces. Now I used this image to help me make the pattern for the handle. This is going to be the gold part of the handle guard. Now it's on to painting! The colors I used were red, orange, yellow, and a darker red. But we're going in with orange first, as we will go in lighter to darker. Now we go in with the bright red and just do the flame part. Be careful around the kanji, because the kanji is supposed to be white. Now we're gonna head in with the black and do the same thing. This is what it should look like when you finish on the kanji side. Now we're moving over to the just plain side, and we're just going to go in with that light orange, then red, and then black. And now that we're all done with that, we can move on to taping the katana closed. It's important to use clear tape. Now, that being either clear duct tape or clear scotch tape, it doesn't really matter, but it just has to be clear tape. Once that's done, we can move back to all the extra parts. So we're going to go in with that yellow finally, and we're going to paint the yellow with two of the long rectangles that we have, and then the smaller gold pieces for the handle. Now that you've set those off to dry, we go in with the orange and go around the outside of the handles. You only have to paint one side since you're going to be hot gluing the pieces together, but do be careful to paint the right side. Now that you have painted both pieces, you're also going to paint one of the other long rectangles, the last one, and you're also going to paint the square orange as well. Now we go in with that bright red that we have and paint the rest of that up. And now all the pieces are painted. This part was a little bit unnecessary. If you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. I just painted the lines gray. What you're going to do now, though, is you're going to tape the handle closed. Kind of like how we did with the katana. Just remember to leave the top and bottom open. Now we have all of our pieces together. We're going to hot glue the two handles pieces together. The supports are already in the blade. Now that you have the handle guard together, make sure that the flame is pointed away from you as well as the curved side of the katana. Now you're going to hot glue that gold piece that we made. And do be careful not to burn yourself. Now we're going to take our second gold piece and hot glue it to the handle. Make sure to add extra supports if you want a more firm grasp on the handle. I added one, and also make sure to flatten it out. Now we are going to hot glue that orange piece. And last but not least, we are going to hot glue the bottom piece on. Then we just cut off the access once that is good, and then you have a Rengoku cosplay sword. And there you have it, folks, the cosplay katana. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope to see you next week. Goodbye!